I grew up in Seattle, the home of Starbucks. And I've known people throughout the years that worked at Starbucks, like a couple executives. And, one of the secrets to a great business, you can be in Seattle, you can be in Shanghai, you can be in Secaucus, Staten Island. It doesn't matter. They look the same. The coffee tastes the same. The service is the same. That's a good business. It's not like you get a Starbucks coffee here, the bean is burnt, and over there it's different. Starbucks, like a good business, is consistent. I remember I moved 15 years ago to Connecticut. I didn't grow up a Patriot fan. And at this time, the Patriots weren't a dynasty. And I started watching New England games every snap. And, I was in that area with New England. And the thing that was always remarkable to me about New England, and I've never seen anything in the NFL like it, it's the same team every week. I could take yesterday's video of that game against Minnesota, put it back 11 years ago. Looks the same. There are things in your life I can't put a dollar value on, but they just seem way more valuable than what I paid for it. Let me give you an example. TSA PreCheck. I paid $85. I went to the airport, $85 for TSA PreCheck. That covers a couple years. I don't know what it's worth. I can't sell it to anybody. There's no tangible value. But I know that I'm in a better mood when I go to the airport. I know that I can pack differently. I can wear shoes, that I don't have to take off. It changes my mood. It alleviates stress. Going to the airport, forget when I'm in line, driving, packing for the airport. I don't know what TSA PreCheck is worth. A hell of a lot more than $85 is what I paid for it. NFL is like Silicon Valley. They change week to week, day to day. Football doesn't even look the same on television that it did 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you had something called huddles and fullbacks. And the overtime rules were different. And the PAT rules were different. And you didn't have 4 and 5 receivers all the time. But that part, I think John Gruden can figure out. LeBron realizes it's time to move to the third stage, which is the mogul stage, Hollywood movies net worth business brand, where just winning games is now part of the equation. There's a reason you don't see a lot of 70-year-old roofers in Arizona. That's not a career that's supposed to last long. There's a reason you don't see a lot of 70-year-old guys on oil derricks outside of Louisiana. That career's not supposed to last 50 years. You can be a podiatrist, a baker, a veterinarian for a long time, a sports writer for a long time. I tell my kids all the time, your kids make mistakes. But over the course of your life, try not to make the same mistake 2 or 3 times. But as an adult telling my kids that, it's hard because adults make the same mistakes all the time. We fall for the same stuff in politics, in business, in sports. In sports, it's the worst. We keep falling for the same stuff. Hyperventilating over stuff and then getting burned. By the way, the last number 1 quarterback pick to win his first game was David Carr. It was a standalone Sunday night football game. Oh, crazy! Next week, 2 picks, 6 for 25. His quarterback rating was an 8. Sam Darnold, standalone game. Monday Night Football for the Jets. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Last night, he was not very good. You parents out there, you can brag about your kids' grades. Oh, little Johnny got an A+. Little Susie's a perfect student. All you parents out there, you can brag about your kids' sports accomplishments. He hit a home run. She scored a goal. But when you got good kids, when you can leave for the weekend and trust them. There's alcohol in the house. The key to the BMW's there. And the parents can go, we're going camping for 4 days. Make sure you take care of your brothers and sisters. Then you got a good kid. You can trust them. The Pittsburgh Steelers, with a running game, said, Ben, we're leaving for the weekend. Throw it 56 times. Lamar Jackson's really good. Last 2 games, media falls in love with him. He has 44 attempts in 2 games. They're babysitting him. Baker Mayfield's amazing. Last 2 games combined, 46 attempts. They're babysitting him. Those teams are telling you what they think of Lamar and Baker. They like him. They got talent. But when those parents leave, They call the nanny. They call a babysitter. They make sure there's eyes on the quarterback. Not Big Ben. That family's going to Europe for 8 days. There's alcohol all over the house, keys to the car. And they're like, we trust you. Watch your brother and sister. We're going to France. We'll be back in 8 days.